Today's episode of the Island Archives podcast is brought to you by Old Road Rum. Old Road Rum is driven by a desire to celebrate the cultural history of St. Kitts and Nevis and is tropically aged for 12 years to present the pure expression of a well-crafted rum.
Today's episode of the Island Archive podcast will give us a little insight into a man that a lot of us focus on chasing, but not in the conventional way. Sir Arthur Lewis was born in St. Lucia in 1915 after his parents had migrated from Antigua in 1902. At the age of 17, he won a scholarship offered by the British government. However, they had imposed a color ban on its colonies, so young blacks only studied medicine or law so they could make a living without governmental support. He became the first black person to gain acceptance and attend the world-famous London School of Economics, or LSE, where he attained his Bachelor of Science degree in 1937. After graduating with first-class honors, LSE gave Lewis a scholarship to obtain a PhD in industrial economics, which he completed in 1940. Lewis continued his truly extraordinary record of breaking down barriers with his intelligence by obtaining employment in LSE, thus becoming Britain's first black professor. He attempted to join the teaching ranks at many other universities but was rejected, probably because of his color. He next taught at the University of Manchester, where he developed some of the most important concepts about the patterns of capital and wages in developing countries. Lewis credited his interests, where he became a world expert at the time, to Austrian economist Friedrich Hayek, who once told him if he did not know a topic, his best option to learn it was to teach it. He particularly became known for his contribution to development economics, of great interest as former colonies began to gain independence from European nations. When Ghana gained independence in 1957, its government appointed Lewis as their first economic advisor, which is kind of a big deal. He was knighted in 1963. He served as an economic advisor to numerous African and Caribbean governments, including Nigeria, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, and Barbados. Speaking of Barbados, in 1970, Lewis was also selected as the first president of the Caribbean Development Bank, serving in that capacity until 1973. And spent 5 years as the principal and vice chancellor of the University of the West Indies. Lewis's crowning achievement was receiving the Nobel Peace Prize in Economics in 1979 for his outstanding work in development economics. Sir Arthur Lewis's place in history would forever be solidified, and his journey makes him a giant well worth the mention in the Island Archive.
The Island Archive podcast is a Pelican Media Group production and is brought to you by Old Road Rum. To hear more, log on to www.islandarchive.com or check us out on all streaming platforms.